Back when I first started studying about health 20 years ago, when I was going to the gym and I was trying to put on muscle mass so that I could be better at my sports and just be a bigger human, I used to think about food as energy. And then when after I went through my exercise science degree and learned a bunch of stuff that ended up being the opposite direction of what ended up being practically useful in terms of developing human beings. But after my exercise science degree, I moved to California and I started a gym. Went through this whole huge process, but I eventually ended up in a 10,000 square foot space in downtown Los Angeles in the middle of a recession. So I had to make myself the best, most knowledgeable personal trainer slash coach slash gym owner slash business owners in Los Angeles because everyone was going out of business. And during that time, I studied a lot about food. I studied a lot about health. And that's when I started thinking about food as medicine, food as cocktail. When it goes into my body, it allows my body to make a hormonal change. And that was a huge upgrade rather than thinking about food as energy. And before food as energy, food just was taste, right? I just think about food as satiating the hunger and pleasure. So we go through these stages, right? Food as pleasure, food as energy, food as medicine or a drug. Now I have upgraded my perspective on diet and food is now consciousness. It is an essence of light. It is an essence of the light source. If you think about what a plant is it's a combination of the elements: sunlight, earth, air, water, and the morphic field, consciousness, life force, whatever source, energy, whatever you want to call the geometrical arrangement of energetics to make a tree look like a tree and act like a tree and walk like a tree and smell like a tree and perceive like a tree. But anyways, this food as consciousness is really important because we are consciousness. And within our self is a bunch of cells. And those cells, like our self, has needs. And so just like I learned in the gym ownership days about functional fitness, I have also begun to see food and its functionality, okay? Whether it's medicinal and or within consciousness and supporting consciousness of our cells. And so we really need to understand that within our body is a matrix of individual cells that all individually have jobs. They need to eat, they need to excrete, they need to do what we do when we sleep. They have to replenish, detoxify, nourish themselves, replicate themselves, replace themselves, destroy themselves. And so how we eat allows the facilitation of the duties of these consciousnesses, which if we have a well-aligned system where all of our cells can nourish, detoxify, build, repair, cleanse, then our physical wholeness will be more appropriately situated within our environment. And the more appropriately situated each one of our selves are, the more appropriately situated that makes the entire consciousness of this planet. And so for me now, this is an important duty, right? Because now we're bringing in the concept of ascension into diet. What I used to think was I used to teach people how to eat in a way that serves the self, prolongs the self, makes the self more aesthetically pleasing. Now I am viewing diet that serves the whole, okay? If we feed the people in a manner that supports them optimally, the people will ascend to greater heights, which would equal more collaborative effort within the human race, within the human consciousness. And that is our duty here in this life. So I've got a program, and we have had crazy results with these 5 superfoods that do all of the things that I listed before: nourish, detoxify, repair, cleanse, and build. And these 5 superfoods are packaged in a bundle. And this bundle is something that any human can get for $10.50 with the discount code, $10.50 a day. And we start everyone off with the month supply. And I've seen people, many people, over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands of people from the company. But our organization, thousands of people have done this. These foods are 60-day money-back guarantee. This is important because what companies do you know that sell products and offer a guarantee, money back, for 60 days? Anyone can use these foods, and if they are not satisfied with how they relate to your body, then you can get your money back. You know what other company does that? Tesla. Tesla does that because they believe so much in their cars. They believe that when people buy one, they will never, ever buy another brand of car again. And that is exactly how we believe about these foods. Now, these are just foods. I'm going to present to you what we call the ultimate lifestyle transformation, and this will be a lifestyle transformation because the gut is a brain, just as the heart is, just as the head is. The more alignment these 3 are, which I wish I could talk for many moons about that, because that's a huge thing once these 3 get in alignment. But let's just talk about the gut. When these 3 are in alignment, you are a much more powerful being. You can actually start shifting reality to your vibration once these are in alignment. If they're out of alignment, then you will be distracted. The gut, once it is in alignment, you will start craving foods that are better for you. You will have a sensation of what foods are good for you, what foods are poisonous to you, and what foods are medicinal to you. This is something that every animal has, okay? You look at an animal in the forest, they could go to a part of the forest they've never been before, and they would immediately know what food is, what medicine is, and what poison is. Immediately. They have their gut brain turned on. That is what these foods do to you. So if you are addicted to soda, if you are addicted to coffee, if you are addicted to cigarettes, alcohol, these things are a result of the gut brain being disrupted. Primarily from glyphosate would probably be the primary thing. Now I'm going to start our 5 superfoods with one that detoxifies the body. Biomedic is the only product that has even ventured to prove that it can remove glyphosate. If you look up the hashtag glyphosate, you will see a whole bunch of things about glyphosate. Okay, Monsanto, Roundup. Monsanto makes Roundup. The active ingredient in Roundup is glyphosate. Its duty is to destroy plants. And it does it by destroying a certain pathway, the chemic pathway in the plants, which is the same pathway that our bacteria in our digestive system has. So then it kills our gut microbiome. And it's very difficult to get out. These herbs do it, okay? 74% within 6 weeks. And that test was done while people were eating the standard American diet. These 5 foods are to be... You're going to be shifting your diet a little bit while you're taking these foods. And there's so much I can say about this. I can talk for 3 hours. I just want to present to you guys the foods and let you know how to get this scientifically guaranteed package, how to get this money back guaranteed package, and how to get this package that many, 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 many people before have transformed their life with. People that I know and care about, and people that I don't even know. Biomedic removes glyphosate. It also reduces C-reactive protein, which is the biomarker for inflammation. So if you wake up in pain, if you're in pain because of inflammation, this stuff will reduce the thing that your body releases, that the scientists look at to determine how much inflammation is in your body. It reduces that biomarker by 75% in 6 weeks, again, while people are eating the standard American diet. Imagine if you shift your diet while taking this. Extremely powerful. I'll actually link, I talk about this for 25 minutes in another video. Power Shake. This is to nourish the body. In here are greens that are powdered at room temperature, 78 degrees. Also, biodegradable packaging if you haven't noticed. First company of its size to do that. Room temperature. We do that because we've got these giant silos, and we grow our wheatgrass on a dried lake bed that's next to a volcano. So it's actually a dried lake bed with about 90 feet of volcanic ash. Wheatgrass gets grown. It gets juiced in these giant now I can't say it that I'm making a video. It gets juiced in I say this every week. Say it out loud. Masticators? Yes. To masticate is to chew. So if you juice things in a masticator, it is pulling the juice out of it. Gets juiced, gets pumped up to these giant silos, gets misted. Along the silos are fans blowing up 78-degree temperature air. As the mist falls, the water gets extracted out of it. The living enzymes are still within this green powder, super bioavailable, still has the living enzymes. You're going to be drinking this. And I used to eat salads for breakfast, people. I used to eat greens all day long because I know how important they are. This is better than that, okay? And you're like, how can a powder be better than live juices or live vegetables? It just is. And if you want to know more, we speak a little bit more about it on Thursday nights. We've got Zooms. But I haven't had a salad in 2 years, and I haven't really needed to eat vegetables in 2 years because it all comes from that. That satiates my need for nourishment within my cells. Apothecary. So this actually has some amino acids in it that helps the body produce melatonin. Melatonin, if we go back to the consciousness of our cells, when we sleep, sometimes they don't sleep. Okay, just because we're sleeping doesn't mean our cells are being repaired and replenished at night. Melatonin does that. So these sour tart cherries are nature's way to provide the body with the essential building blocks to produce melatonin. And when we are flooding our body with melatonin, epigenetically, we are much more superhuman than if we were not. And so going back to individually taking care of the cells, we need our cells nourished. We need our cells detoxified. We need our cells being able to repair when we're sleeping. That is this. This is the answer. Super Cleansar, some herbs to cleanse the system. Get those parasites out that we've picked up over the years. Amino acids. This is essentially a gym in a bag, a gym in a bottle. You guys probably know that I used to own gyms. I released them because after studying over and over and over again, studying deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, I studied underneath the concept of a gym. I no longer saw a gym as the most efficient way to strengthen the human body, the human mind, and the human soul, which was my original intent when I decided to move to California and start gyms. Amino acids are what the body breaks protein down into. And these amino acids are developed by a scientist for patients that are in hospitals, that are laying in beds, okay? People that are on kidney dialysis, stomach cancer patients, when they're going through their procedures. This will put muscle on you whether you work out or not. That's what these pills are for. And they do. So if you guys check out in the caption here, there's going to be a link of before and after pictures. Check those out. And I actually will have a discount code there also. Now, the transformations on this, the pictures are incredible. They're completely incredible. And when you look at it, it is a little bit mind-blowing, especially when you take in consideration that most of the people in the before and afters are not working out. It is because we have figured out how to tap into the stem cells of the adult human body. And we do that by accessing them because they're all stored in the fat. Okay, if you think about us running in nature, stem cells get produced by the body. Where would the body store them. Okay, if we're eating constantly, the body's like, oh, this human is doing pretty well. Let's take this stem cell that they probably don't need right now and store it in their fat, because in the wintertime, when hunting isn't good, when that season isn't good, they will access this fat for energy, and voila, there will be a stem cell available for them to utilize however they want. And they will be eating, right? There's a process in the body called autophagy. When you eat less, the body starts eating itself, and it doesn't just eat itself, it eats the diseased and damaged and weak cells and replaces it with those stem cells. Our stem cells are produced in the bone marrow and the liver. And if you guys are, so the liver cleanses the blood, and all of the waste from the liver goes into the feces. If you've ever done a fast or a juice fast, you will notice that you are not pooping so much. And that means that your liver is not being active. It's not being stressed. It's not doing the job of cleansing the blood, because you're not polluting the blood. So if we reduce the amount of calories, which is the middle 10 days of this 30 days, the liver gets freed up. It gets freed up to produce stem cells, and the fat cells get utilized, and the stem cells just flood the entire body. So if you guys are looking for a natural stem cell therapy, join us and be merry.